Hello everyone. Today's chapter 42 is more about the 1, 2, 3 rule. What is that? Well, while your biggest burden is actually your best asset according to the Tao Te Ching. Let me explain. So this is more like the evolutional chapter. It explains how the universe builds complexity from simplicity and introduces the famous concept of what others teach, I also teach. The violent come to a violent end. Basically, it is a lesson in balance, growth, and surprising power of what I previously told you, the humility. So let me go to the beginning. So the meaning of the birth of everything. Lao Tzu describes it more about the creating of a story. So the Tao gives birth to one, unity, or pure existence. Two, the one that gives birth to two, the yin and yang, duality, right? Let's think about light and dark, hot and cold, male and female. The two give birth to three, the interaction between the two forces. The three give birth to the 10,000 things, to everything in the world. So a key takeaway about this chapter is that everything in the world carries both yin and yang, right? The male, the female, the receptivity on its back, and the embraces yang, the activity in its arms, right? So harmony comes from blending these two together, the yin and the yang. So how to apply this in a company or in a corporation? Balancing innovation with stability. The current situation with AI technology, don't panic. Why is that? Because think about the yin and yang. So a company is a group of people that come together, right? So it's focusing more aggressive sales, the yang. That it ignores employee burnout and technical debt, the yin. So it's better for them to focus on so-called the culture and wellness, a balance. That it stops making money and then it makes some more adjustment to the well-being of its employees, right? So chapter 42 teaches us that you cannot have one without the other, regardless what kind of AI situation we have now. So if you are a leader, audit your your team. So if your team is too much yang, rush, aggressive, stress, for example, introduce more yin into your team. Planning, listening to your team, rest a little bit. And the tree harmony only happens when both are present. You definitely need both. You cannot have one way or the other. So number 2 is the power of lowering oneself. So let's say a manager thinks they must always appear as the smartest guy in the room, right? Or the girl in the room. Most powerful person in the room is basically remaining its control. Humility. Why is that? Because the chapter says that people hate to be orphaned or unworthy. So kings and lords use those terms to describe themselves, right? So how to practice this into a real life example? Admitting you don't have all the answers is one of them. You lower yourself and you actually build more trust to your team and ask your team member, can you explain to me how to do that? Be more humble. And authority than pretending that you know everything. That's very bad as a leader. Some people ask, how can I apply this phenomenal chapter 42 then in real-time example? Let's say you lose something, a promotion, a relationship also, or a specific opportunity in life, and you feel like diminished. What Lao Tzu basically writes is that sometimes one profits by losing and loses by profiting. So when you lose something external, look for what you gained internal, like freedom, a hard lesson, or maybe a some more time for yourself. So often gaining a price or profit results in losing your peace of mind. So try to reframe it very quickly, switch it to a loss as the necessary clearing of the next 1, 2, 3 of your growth. So when sometimes people feel like losing, it's not really true, because maybe you need some time to rest as well. You lose your job, you lose whatever, it's okay. As long as you are still existent, have a peace of mind and regain again. It's like going on a mountain. When you climb into the mountain, you fall down, which is okay. Then you climb again the same mountain, or you look for a higher mountain and you climb even higher. Okay? And sometimes falling is good, because sometimes it says, look, this job or this relationship doesn't fit you. You need a different one. So that's why it's called the higher self. The Almighty always knows it all. So avoiding violent extremes. Let me explain. So let's say you have a situation that you're trying to force a lifestyle change, like an extreme diet or a brutal 5 a.m. wake-up call, right? Through sheer willpower, I'm going to do it, put on my alarm, blah, blah, blah. No. Then what you can do is the violent come to a violent end. So force creates resistance. Basically, the best action to take is, instead of violently attacking your goals, look for the tree, the 1, 2, 3, right? The harmony. So if you want to wake up early, focus on the yin, going to bed earlier, for example, rather than the yang, forcing yourself out of bed at 5 alarm. Because eventually you wake up early, especially kids. They have a phenomenal in-program nature, that if you want your kids to wake up early, try to put them in the bed early as well. Okay, let me read this from this great book, the Tao Te Ching, chapter 42. The Wei begets 1, 1 begets 2, 2 begets 3, 3 begets the myriad creatures. The myriad creatures carry on their backs the yin, and embrace in the arms the yang, and are the blending of the generative forces of the two. There are no words which men detest more than solitary, desolate, and helpless. Yet lords and princesses uses these to refer to themselves. Thus a thing is sometimes added to by being diminished, and diminished by being added to. What others teach, I also teach. The violent will not come to the natural end. I shall take this as my precept. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next chapter. Bye.